Good day everyone. So this is lecture vlog kasama ang inyong lingkod na si Sir Jade. So we're going to discuss about tourism system and the motivations for travel. So are you ready? But before that, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe my channel, Jade Fortis TV, and please follow my FB page, Jade Fortis TV, and of course, Tamang Trip ni Hard Knocks. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so let's discuss about tourism system and motivations for travel. Actually, based sa aking module, lesson 5 ito or module 5 po ito. Okay? The learning objectives, compare the different types of tourism system, distinguish the traveler needs and wants, and explain the relationship between Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the travel motivations listed in travel literature. So these are the objectives. So tourism system, let's define first. It is a system, a group of interrelated, interdependent, and interacting elements that together form a single functional structure. So we all know what is the meaning of system. So ibig sabihin, ito po ay may mga different elements kung saan po nag-i-interact with each other at meron siyang kanya-kanyang mga functions. So ang tourism po is a system, no? Kung magkulang po ang isa, hindi po magiging tourism yan. Hindi pwedeng tawaging tourism industry kapag meron pong mga elements na kulang po. Alright? So that is tourism system. Kumbaga, binubuo ito ng iba't ibang element para mabuo yung isang system para masabi na ito ay tourism industry. Okay? Kapag walang tourism industry, there is no hospitality. So walang system. So kailangan po may every elements po yan na nagpa-function po para magkaroon po ng isang tinatawag na tourism system. Alright, so according to Laper's basic whole tourism system, so actually ito po yung kanyang system po, no? Napaka-basic lang po. Alright, so there is a traveler generating region and then of course, traveler generating region, parang that is called origin, no? That is called origin. And then the tourist destination region na tinatawag nating destination. Of course, saan ba nagsisimula ang traveler or ang tourist or ang visitor? Siyempre, sa origin. Yung origin niya, nag-generate po ng income yon. Doon siya nag-work, doon siya residence, doon siya naghahanap buhay. Upang makaipon po, yun po yung origin niya. Okay? Pwedeng international or domestic, pwede ang generating region magsimula dito tapos pumunta siya sa ibang bansa. Okay, so doon nabubuo ang system ng industry ng ibang bansa. Or from other country going here in the Philippines. So mabubuo naman ang tourism industry dito sa bansa kung may mga pupunta turista galing sa ibang bansa, or that is called traveler generating region. Okay? So, of course, going to the tourist destination region or the tourist destination. So, kailangan po, meron po tinatag na accessibility. That is called transit route region or accessibility. Papasok po dyan ng transportation. Transit route region ruta. So, kung may ruta, meron pong transportation. Ibig sabihin, there's an accessibility. So, paano po makakarating ang tourist kung without route? Kung walang transportation or walang accessibility. So that is important in tourism para mabuo po ang system kasi ito yung magiging tulay. No, magiging tulay from origin going to the destination. All right? So of course, ang tourism po, no? Aalis siya from the origin. Magbo-book siya doon ng travel, babibili ng airline ticket, magpe-prepare ng kanyang pera, and then going in the destination. So by riding any transportation po, kunyari, galing siya ng South Korea, no? South Korea, yung mga Korean, no? So they're planning to travel here in the Philippines. Of course, nag-prepare sila, nagpa-book sila sa travel agency doon or tour operator. Of course, inasikaso ng mga ng airline company, no, doon sa kanilang ticketing, ayun, and then nag-travel nagsakay sila ng Philippine Airlines or any airline po na nag-o-offer po ng flight dito para mayroon po silang ruta papunta dito sa Pilipinas. Route. Okay? So, nagkakaroon lang naman ng route ang dalawang countries po kapag meron silang tinatawag na bilateral agreement. If there's a bilateral agreement or multilateral agreement, doon po nag-o-open po ng route. Ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon po ng integration or relationship yung dalawang bansa. That is called diplomatic relationship. Okay, so doon nabubuo yun. Kaya nagkakaroon ng yung mga businesses, nagkakaroon po ng investment. At doon na nagkakaroon ng mga ruta. So, yung Korea, na nagpabook doon sa Korea through any airlines po going here in the Philippines. At nung umalis siya, ayun, nag-depart siya dito sa Philippines, sa NAIA, no? Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Terminal 1 to Terminal 1 or Terminal 2 or Terminal 3. Okay, especially Terminal 1. Pero kung Philippine Airlines yan, Terminal 2. No, kung Cebu Pacific ang sinakyan, Terminal 3. So yun yung going here, nag-arrive. So nag-arrive kasi nag-depart yung travelers doon, nag-arrive here. And then of course, syempre, everyday po may umaalis din na traveler. Araw-araw po yan. May mga umaalis din na traveler sa mga airport, sa mga seaport, sa mga bus terminal. Araw-araw po. So, araw-araw din may pumapasok na turista, araw-araw din may umaalis. So, kumbaga, ganun ang sistema ng tourism. So, of course, nung punta na sila dito sa destination, doon na pumapasok tinatawag na activities, which is yun yung na-define natin sa tourism. Tourism, based on UNWTO, it is defined as the activities of person traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. So yun, nag-travel sila here, may mga activities sila dito, recreational or business activity or any purposes pa po. And then nag-spend sila ng money, nag-stay sa accommodation, kumain sa restaurant, anything based doon sa package nila or kung ano man ang naging purpose nila nag-travel dito. Basta po wala pong kinalaman sa trabaho. Okay? And then, kung ilang araw po sila dito, doon po sila babalik sa kanilang, doon na yung time nila para bumalik sa kanilang origin. That is called traveler generating region. At syempre, pag may umalis, may mga bagong dumarating. Lalo-lalo na ngayon sa Pilipinas, ang daming mga magagandang tourist destination na pwede nating ipagmalaki such as Boracay, Siargao Island, okay, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, at marami pa pong iba. Okay? So, of course, in tourist destination, doon papasok yung iba't ibang environment itself. The environment itself. The human, the socio-cultural, economical, technological, physical, political, legal. So that is part of environment, no? Of the specific destination. Okay, that is based on LAPER's basic whole tourism system. So what are the elements according to LAPER's, no? So, the framework presented by LAPERS include 5 elements present in the tourism system that are dependent with each other. Dumidepende po sa bawat isa. No? Dumidepende po. Siyempre, si tourist, depende siya kay tour operator, depende siya sa transportation going here. No? Si tourist destination, depende siya transportation. Without transportation, paano po magkakaroon ng mga international visitors or local tourists? Okay? Of course. At syempre, yung mismong origin or the travelers generating region, depende din sila sa transportation para pag-travel din or makagkaroon din ng arrival din doon sa kanilang lugar. Understood? Para maging isa rin silang destination. Okay? So, the framework describes the movement of tourists from the country of origin or the traveler generating region toward the tourist destination region. So, that's very simple, di ba? As the tourist travel from one end to another, it is tantamount that the tourist will be passing through the transit route region. Motion will be reversed once the tourist has already satisfied his needs from the destination region. So, yun. Once na ang tourist, after ilang araw siya nag-travel or nag-stay sa isang destination, and then na-satisfied siya sa service, which is provided by the hospitality sector and the tourism sector, of course, that's the time na babalik na siya sa kanyang origin. Base yun sa kanyang araw no, kung hanggang kailan siya mag-stay sa isang lugar. Okay? So the movement of tourists in the diagram reflects that there can be interferences from forces in the natural environment. So of course, the environment, it affects the tourism system. Understood? The tourism policy also affects the tourism system. Kumbaga, hindi pwede basta-basta mag-travel dito. Kailangan may sinusunod po na policy. Okay? Of course, lahat po yan nakakapekto yung technology, yung human itself, papasok dyan ng tourist behavior. So lahat po yan apektado. Nagbibigay yan ng effect sa tourism. Okay? Each component will be related to each other, which means the absence of any of the 5 existing requirements will most likely affect the movement of the other component, which is true. May mawalang isa dyan or dalawa, hindi magkakaroon ng isang tourism system. Alright? The following are the 5 primary elements that complete the tourism system. At least one tourist lang. At least one tourist na meron siyang pera. Alangan naman mag-travel siya tapos wala naman siyang pera para makapag-travel. Okay? At least one tourist. At least one tourist generating region. One generating region. Origin itself. At least one transit route region. Transit route region. At least one tourist destination. And here in the Philippines, there are lots of tourist destination. So, at least one. Kasi masasabi mo tourist destination, lalo na kung meron siyang airport, seaport, or terminal, kumbaga may accessibility. We all know that. At least one tourist destination na kumpleto po ang kanyang ACE. Amenities, accessibility, ancillary service, and of course, attractions. Dapat po may attraction po kasi yun po yung reason kung bakit pinupuntahan po ang isang destination. Bakit na-attract ang turista punta na sa destination dahil merong attraction. Alright? So, and travel and tourism industry. So, of course, papasok po dyan yung mga sectors na magiging involved po para mapaganda po ang sistema ng tourism. Understood? So, GAN's Tourism Functioning System. So, according to GAN's, the framework of tourism implies that there are 2 main categories that comprise the main industry. The demand component and the supply component. So normally, the demand component is concerned with the traveler or tourist. Kunyari, ako po, I want to travel in Boracay. That's a local or domestic tourism, no? So I'm going to travel in Boracay. So demand ko yun. So kailangan po, pag pumunta ko doon, masatisfied po ko sa mga supply doon. Okay? The demand component is concerned with the traveler or tourist output, or the traveler or tourist or visitor who want to experience or utilize the output of the tourism industry. Again, the demand component is concerned with the travelers, tourists, or visitor who would want to experience or utilize the output of the tourism industry. So, concern with the travelers or tourists. Siyempre, siya yung gustong magkaroon ng experience. At of course, kung ano yung magiging output na industry. Kumbaga, ano yung magiging reaction niya based doon sa output po na ipoprovide po ng tourism and hospitality industry. Okay, kung magiging malungkot ba siya, magiging masaya, okay? That is demand component. While supply side is composed of several components that include attraction, transportation, services, information, and promotion. Okay? Okay, as you can see, no, attraction. So that is important. Ito yung pinaka-importante. Kaya nga, kung base, tignan nyo sa diagram, nangunguna po ang attraction. Because that's the reason why people traveling and visiting the destination. Why people visit, no, the destination. Okay? And also, kailangan ng accessibility. And of course, after ma-access ang destination, dahil dun sa gusto niya makita yung attraction, kailangan din ng transportation inside para ma-reach po yung attraction na yon. Okay? And then, of course, the services which is provided, no? Which is provided by the hospitality industry such as hotel, restaurants, shops, at marami pa pong involved. Basta po, yung mga nagpo-provide po ng service po. Base po sa needs and wants ng travelers or customers. Okay? And of course, Information, to become more aware about the destination. Information, ano yung mga do's and don'ts doon, ano yung mga policy. Pag sinabi mo kasing information, malawak po ito. Okay? It's all about information na kailangan aware po ang turista po once na pumunta siya doon sa destination. And of course, the promotion itself, the way paano po ipopromote ang isang destination, no? Pagkapanood ba nung promotion na yon, mako-convince ba yung mga customers or travelers to travel in that particular destination? Okay, that is demand and supply side. Understood? So, as dictated by the tourism industry, each component may have to rely on each other, syempre, to cope and survive and provide a meaningful product to visitor, which is called the tourism product itself. Okay? The supply side capacity to cope up with the requirements of the demand side will be an important strategy in order to sustain tourism development. So, actually, this supply side, this is the strategy which is made by the government and the private sector para ma-sustain po ang industry, no, ma-sustain po ang pagde-develop ng tourism industry. Alright? So according to Goldner and Rich's framework on the tourism system, as you can see, kala nyo mahirap itong intindihin, but it is the whole industry itself. Yan po ay nagre-represent ng industry. Of course, pagsisimula yan sa pinaka-core, sino po ba ang core ng tourism system na ito? Siyempre, ang tourist po. Okay? Ang tourist, so of course, kung saan siya magta-travel, base doon sa kanyang awareness, kung magta-travel ba siya sa isang destination or local city. So, ibig sabihin, yung destination na yun, meron pong mga national tourism organization, such as here in the Philippines, meron po tinatawag na, na Department of Tourism. And of course, every city or every province or every region has a what? Tourism organization. Okay? So, yun po, syempre sila yung sila yung pinaka public sector component. Okay? Kumbaga, itong public sector component, sila yung nagpapaganda ng destination. Sila yung nagde-develop, sila yung nagpaplano at nagde-develop at nagpo-promote ng lugar para mas aware ang mga tao. Of course, that is under public sector components. And of course, yung mga private sectors naman, syempre sila yung nagpo-provide ng service. And of course, para mas quality ka ng service, meron din silang kinabibilangang mga organization. That is called yung mga professional organization or mga private sector organization. So, marami din yan sa tourism. Okay? So, anong ginagawa ng both public and private? They're nagko-collab sila para mas mapaganda yung industry. So, they are planning, develop, and promoting the industry itself. Okay, so papasok dyan yung iba't ibang sectors na. So, mabubuo yung ibang sectors. So, yan yung mga sectors like the accommodation sector, tourism services, transportation, entertainment, food service, adventure, outdoor recreation, attraction, events, and travel trade sector. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, these are called the 9 pillars of tourism industry. Yan po yung mga sectors or that is called the 9 pillars of tourism industry. So, they are the operating sectors of the tourism industry. They are the one who provide syempre, tourism products and services based doon sa needs ng traveler. Okay? And of course, may involved po dyan na built environment. So, the built environment, pwede siyang yung mga man-made attractions, mga malls. Okay? Then, involved din dyan yung mga yung technology, the information culture, infrastructure, superstructure. So, when you talk about infrastructure, infrastructure po, ito yung mga underground surface in the destination such as mga roads, highways, electricity, mga electrical, sewage, drainage, and superstructure. Ito yung mga above the ground such as airport buildings. Actually, dati yan, 1980s yan, concept yan. Pero ngayon, iisang term na lang yan which is called the infrastructure. Okay? So that is all. It is important, no, yung spirit of hospitality. Because when you talk about hospitality, as the people industry whose primary concern are to provide good and adequate service to its client. Okay? So, of course, affect not only the built environment but also the natural resources environment. That is part of the tourism industry. Okay? So, importante dyan yung the process, activities, and outcomes of tourism. Ayan na po, yung research, policy, vision, strategy, planning, development, marketing, visitation, behaviors, experiences, impacts, mentoring, evaluation, stewardship, organization, philosophy. And of course, dahil malawak po ang tourism, malaki din ang careers sa tourism. So, marami pong mabibigyan ng trabaho. Kasi ang daming sectors na involved para po makapag-provide ng magandang service sa pinaka-core ng tourism, which is the tourist. Okay? The built environment includes the culture of the people, the culture itself, such as the festivals, the heritage, yung mga attitudes, tourist behavior, that is part of the culture of the people, the cuisine, kasama po yan. Infrastructure that have been put in place to meet the needs of the local resident can also be important to visitors. So, as I said, those are undergone surface before. Superstructure that includes facilities naman that have been developed specially to respond to the demand of visitors. So actually, infrastructure, papasok yung mga highways, roads, and then superstructure, mga buildings, the airports itself. Actually, dati magkaibang term yan ngayon, both infrastructure na yan. Technology that shapes the nature of both tourism product and services and travel experiences. Of course, it affects the industry, no? Pati sa experience ng mga travelers. So, example, baka in the future, mga artificial intelligence na or AI na po ang mag-asikaso po ng service ng industry or service sa customer, like yung mga robots. May mga robots na ngayon, no, na involved pagpo-provide po ng service. So, doon nagkakaroon po ng kakaibang experience ang traveler. Okay? And then information useful in the success of the destination. That's also important, no? And then governance where tourism system function. Of course, governance. That's yung proper governance o maganda governance mo para mas maganda ang function ng tourism system. Okay? Magsisimula po yan sa namumuno pa rin po. Okay? Operating sectors of the tourism industry are what most people would consider as the primary players in terms of tourism. These sectors are the actual business or entities that are directly involved in the delivery of tourist satisfaction and needs in the field of leisure and travel. So they are called the primary players in terms of tourism, ang mga operating sectors. So that is called, yun yung mga tinatawag na 9 pillars of tourism. So there are 9. Ayan po. Sila yung involved in providing services, products, para po ma-meet ang demand o ma-meet po ang needs and wants na traveler based on their demand. Okay? Let's proceed to the motivation for travel. So actually, this is the second part of the lecture video, no? So motivation for travel. So meron po tayong tinatawag na 4 na motivation for travel. Bakit po nagta-travel ang isang tourist? So meron tinatawag pong physical motivator. Siyempre, yung mga tao nagta-travel because they want to have a rest. Siyempre, gusto ko naman, pag sa sobrang busy nila sa work, or dahil sa sobrang pag-aaral po, kailangan din naman ng tao nagpapahinga. Kailangan din po ng break. Kailangan kapag holiday, na-enjoy po ang holiday. So, kailangan ng physical rest, or para mas maging physical fitness, kailangan magkaroon ng sports, mag-participate sa mga sports events, and then, of course, going to the beach or resort. And then, of course, they need to, physical motivators, kailangan ma-relax, magkaroon siya ng relax moment, or ma-entertain, no? Ma-entertain. And, of course, the other motivators directly connected with health. Siyempre, lahat po yun, apektado po yung kalusugan mismo ng traveler. It is important. Kaya yung mga tao, nagta-travel, number 1, para matanggal ang stress. Makapag-escape sa trabaho naman, no? At para mag-enjoy at makapag-recharge. Siyempre, para mas maging productive ulit pagbalik sa trabaho. Hindi naman pwede laging work lang ng work. Kailangan din, nag-i-enjoy din ang tao, no? Ang mga tao. So, kailangan maging traveler or maging tourist, no? So, marami tayong, here in the Philippines, marami tayong pwedeng i-offer para maging relax at mas maging maganda yung physical fitness ng isang tourist. Marami tayong magagandang mga beach destination dito or even mga entertainment company po, no? Marami po na pwede pong makapag-relax or makapag-staycation po ang isang tourist. Okay, cultural motivators. So, siyempre, ang mga tao po o mga travelers, mayroon silang desire naman. No, may desire sila to know about other countries, no, about the other countries, or nagkakaroon sila ng curiosity about doon sa destination na yon regarding their culture. So, syempre, pumupunta sila for curiosity. Like, based on the music, they want to watch music events. No? Like, example, bakit yung mga tao pumupunta sa Korea to watch BTS? Part of culture kasi yun, yung mga K-pop, K-pop fever in US, in Japan, J-pop fever, in America, R&B, mga marami. So yun yung reason kaya ang tao nagta-travel to learn the music or kung hindi naman yung mga modern music, yung mga folk music po. Okay, the arts. Like example, bakit pinupuntahan ng Rizal? Bakit pinupuntahan yung mga museums? Siyempre to learn and to immerse about the arts like paintings or mga performing arts. Pwede pumunta sa mga cultural center para maka-watch ng mga performing arts. Kasi there are two types of arts fine arts or performing arts. Okay, then folklores, mga dances, syempre painting, and of course religion. So, nagta-travel po for religious purposes. So, makapag-simba, that's a basic, makapag-simba doon, makapanampalataya. So, that is cultural motivators then. Interpersonal motivators, ano naman itong interpersonal motivators? Pertain to the desire to meet other people, visit friends or relative, escape from routine, from family and neighbors. So, kumbaga, makapag-travel po para po mabisita ang mga friends, mga relatives, mga kakilala, mga tropa. So that is interpersonal motivators. Or to find a new friend, no? Maka-meet ng mga bagong tao, that's interpersonal motivators. Kaya sila nagta-travel sa isang lugar. Okay? And the status and prestige motivators. So para it concerns about ego needs and personal development. You're traveling because for your career development or personal development or dahil because of your ego needs para mas lalo kang ma-develop yung career development or para mas lalo kang umangat sa iyong status, no? Included in this group are trips related to businesses, convention, or you're traveling for study to take master's degree or trainings or pumunta ka doon dahil meron kang gustong hobby, nakakaibang hobby na pang rich kid, no? No, mga kakaibang hobby po na pag sinubukan mo yung hobby na yun ay talaga namang naiiba ka, no? Like golf, playing golf. That's the best example. Nagpe-playing golf kayo with the businessman. Other businessman, nag-golf kayo, that is hobby. May pasok-pasok pa sa status and prestige motivators. And of course, educational travel. So that is under status and prestige motivators. Okay? So travel as a mean to satisfy a need and want. The key to understand tourist motivation is to view vacation travel as a vehicle to satisfy one needs and wants. Tourists do not go on vacation just to relax and have fun, to experience another culture or to educate themselves. They take vacation the belief that this vacation will satisfy either completely or partially various needs and wants. Siyempre, tayo, hindi naman tayo nagta-travel dahil sa mga motivations na yun Siyempre, number one, kailangan ma-satisfy tayo. Kasi base sa motivation ng travel natin, kailangan ma-meet natin yun ng completely or partially. Kumbaga, sulit yung pagpunta doon sa isang destination. Kumbaga, na-meet natin yung ini-expect natin doon sa isang lugar. That is satisfying needs and wants. Motivation, it occurs when an individual wants to satisfy a need. Okay? That is motivation. Next one, according to Abraham Maslow's, the theory of motivation and travel motivation po. Okay. So, ito yung basic, no? Actually, ang pinaka basic needs po is physiological needs. The second one is safety needs. And then, social needs or love and belonging. And then, self-esteem needs and self-actualization. Alright, physiological needs. So, syempre, kaya tayo nagta-travel para po tayo makapagpahinga. Importante po yung makapagpahinga, magkaroon po ng activity or quality time with your loved ones or your love. Siyempre, quality time yan. Or, of course, para matikman mo din yung mga pagkain doon, yung delicacies, makakumpleto ka ng kain. Siyempre, pag mahabang iyong bakasyon, kumpleto ang tulog, kumpleto ang kain. Siyempre, at kumpleto din ang time para sa sarili at sa pamilya. That is physiological needs. Okay? Kaya, it is important to have the travel para magkaroon po ng quality time. No? Quality time with yourself and quality time with your loved ones. Okay? And then, safety needs. Safety and security, freedom from fear and anxiety. Siyempre, kapag nagta-travel sa isang destination, ang needs natin, siyempre, kailangan safe tayo doon. Kaya nga dapat may tour guide. Or siyempre, yung pinupuntahan destination, alam mong safe yun. Actually, may bago nga ngayong may bago ngayong parang teleserye sa I1TFC, yung Fractured. Parang isa silang grupo na panoorin nyo na lang po. Para silang isang grupo, si Seth Pedelin, ang bida. Okay, Seth Pedelin yung bida, tsaka yung, hindi ko kilala yung yung babae. Na lang po kung sino yung female actress na yon. Tapos may mga, para pumunta sila sa isang resort, ang magandang resort, para syempre, mag-enjoy sila, magkakaibigan. Ngala, parang that is a worst vacation experience. Nightmare, parang ganun. Kaya kailangan kailangan guys, pag pumupunta kayo sa isang destination, alamin nyo muna kung ano yung meron doon. You should identify first the destination. Alamin nyo maigi, alamin yung mga dating may mga experience na, manood ng mga balita, wag po basta-basta pupunta. Lalo na kung mga island destination or mga resort yan, Diyos ko po, good luck po sa inyo. Kailangan po, kung pupunta po kayo sa isang sikat na resort, dapat yung sikat na sikat talaga, yung mga famous resort, Boracay, Puerto Galera, Panglao, Siargao, yun talagang matunog sa tao, pero kung hindi ganun ka-promoted at not yet developed destination, so kung hindi ka naman po drifter po, yung talaga nagta-travel po ng napaka-deep, wag na po. Okay? Syempre, importante yung safety and security. Freedom from fear and anxiety, syempre. Isa rin yan. Next, social needs. Okay, love, affection, giving, and receiving. Alright, love, affection, giving, and receiving. Social needs. Siyempre, gusto natin yung may mga pag nagta-travel tayo, may time tayo sa pamilya, or nakakamit tayo ng mga ibang tao, namimit na magkasama natin yung pamilya, kailangan din natin yan. Yung feel natin na mahal tayo. So that's important in travel, no? Yung mga ganung moment, yung ganung experience, yung ganung memories po, na nagta-travel kayo, yun ang magiging magandang experience. That is called social needs. And then self-esteem, it's all about self-respect and esteem from others. Siyempre, kapag nakakapag-travel ka, number one, that is your achievement already. Parang achievement ba? 'Di ba? Parang achievements unlock, no? And then of course, lalo na kapag nagta-travel ka, lalo na kung ito po ay for conference, for attending businesses, syempre mas tumataas ang iyong self-esteem po or nagkakaroon ka ng respect. Actually, ang respeto naman hindi nakukuha at iningi. Pusa yan ibinibigay. Okay? So that's important also na kailangan kayo, lalo na mga estudyante, mag-aral kayo, graduate kayo para magkaroon kayo ng self-esteem or self-assurance sa sarili ninyo. Alright, so next one, self-actualization, personal self-fulfillment. Actually, best example ko dito sa self-actualization, si Manny Pacquiao Kasi si Manny Pacquiao, mayaman na, marami ng pera. Kumbaga, yung mga ginagawa na lang niya yun, for self-actualization na lang, yung mga bagay na hindi niya nagagawa. Nagiging mas creative siya. Kumbaga, mas nagiging challenging na lang siyang tao. This is all about personal self-fulfillment or nagiging matulungin siya. That is self-actualization. So kapag nandiyan ka sa pinakamataas na level po, ibig sabihin po, you already successful. At parang may mga bagay ka na lang na gusto mo na lang ma-achieve, no? May mga gusto ka na lang bagay na magawa, na bagang achievement na lang, no? Para dagdag man lang, para tumaas ang iyong self-confidence, no? So that is important, no? In traveling, no? Yung ganyang motivations po. Next one, to know and understand, acquiring knowledge. That's important in tourism industry. Tourism, while you're traveling in the destination, syempre, to acquire knowledge, matuto. Not only mag-enjoy, but also you learn. Na-immerse ka doon at may natutunan ka. Dapat yun yung ginagawa nyo. And of course, sa aesthetic, you appreciate the beauty. The beauty of the destination, the beauty of the nature. Okay? To escape or to relieve tension are satisfying the basic physiological needs. Passive and active vacationers are motivated by a need for tension reduction, syempre. Passive vacation are relieved from tension by submitting to the surrounding environment. The active vacation on the other hand, achieves tension reduction through physical activity. Syempre, mga passive vacationers, gusto lang nila yung mag-enjoy sa isang environment, yung mga familiar destination, while active vacationers, ito talaga, mahilig sila sa mga challenging activity or mga physical activity po. Okay, so tangible benefits of Maslow's need theory. The first benefits that the traveler is better understood and better motivated. If she is recognized as a person consuming product services, the second tangible benefit is that if one accesses Maslow's idea that the lower level needs should first be satisfied before the higher level needs, we would expect that product services, including vacation, which are aimed towards the satisfaction of lower level needs, will be regarded as necessity rather than a luxury. Of course, the first benefit the traveler, syempre, nare-recognize siya. Nare-recognize siya dahil siya yung nagko-consume ng products and services. Kumbaga, ano siya, yung parang nabibigay yung kanyang needs and wants doon sa destination. Kumbaga, nagsasatisfy siya. That is the first benefit. The second tangible benefit, syempre, the lower level should be first satisfied before the higher level need. Kailangan, syempre, pagpunta mo sa destination, safe, lower level, may pagkain, may tulugan, makakapagpahinga, may transportation. That is basic level. Bago po ma-achieve yung ibang higher level needs. Okay, according to Crompton's push and pull model, actually this model that the choice of destination of tourists is driven by two forces, the push and pull. The first force pushes a tourist away, and the second is a region-specific lure that pulls tourists toward a destination. The push refers a general desire to go and be somewhere else without specifying where that may be. These are intangible, intrinsic desire of the tourist to go on vacation. So push, from the word itself, push. You push yourself going to the destination because of your desire, because desire mo na makapag-travel doon, to experience this activity. Yun yung nagpo-push sa'yo, kaya ka nagta-travel doon. Kaya nga, push no? On other hand, the pull refers to the tangible characteristics attributes of a destination that are primarily related to its perceived attractiveness. Kumbaga, ang gagawin naman ng destination, gagawa sila ng mga bagay, mga attractions, they're going to sustain the attractions, they're going to provide a tourism product, they're sustaining the culture, yung magandang culture, they're going to promote the destination itself para po makapanghila po ng mga tourists, no? At magkaroon po ng desire yung mga tourists na mag-travel dito sa destination. That is called pull mode, no? Okay? So katulad po na ginagawa ng Siargao, before it was actually Siargao for surfing lang yan, pero hindi ganoon ka-desire pumupunta doon dahil mataas ang desire na magpunta ng Boracay. But because of the film tourism and then sumikit pa sa social media, ngayon yung mga tao, they love to travel. They have a desire to travel in Siargao. Okay? Of course, si Siargao ngayon, lalo niya dine-develop yung kanyang lugar, lalo niya pinaplano, pinapataas ang carrying capacity para mas maraming mainggan yung mga tourists. Pinopromote pa na maigi. Okay? The need for escape or change. The need for escape or change. Travel for health, syempre. It is important. Yung health po. So, kaya nga that is called health tourism. So, one of the purpose to travel is travel for health. Syempre, para maging healthy and of course, long life. So, kailangan po, yung may mga ilang destination din na nag-o-offer po ng mga spa resort or seaside resort po. Kasi, as you can see in the history, nag-cure yan ng mga disease or nakakatulong po para mas maging relax o mas healthy ang tao. Okay? Sports, syempre, interest in sports either participant or spectator is attracting large segment of the population. So ito, katatapos lang ng FIBA World Cup. So, of course, maganda po yung Philippine tourism medyo umangat dahil sa sports tourism na FIBA. Maraming mga iba't ibang nations ang nagpuntahan dito to watch sports here, to become audience or spectator. And of course, yung mga players po, yung mga players iba't ibang bansa na lumahok for the FIBA. So, nag-basketball sila dito. Sila yung tinatawag na participants. So, tumataas po ang demand po. Tumataas din kasi may mga tao mahilig pumanood ng sports, especially basketball, no? People demand activity excitement during their leisure hours to relieve them from the boredom of their work. Siyempre tayo, lalo na pag nakikita natin may laban ang Gilas Pilipinas or sa PBA, siyempre, nagbibigay tayo ng time para makapanood po ng sports event like sa Araneta or sa Mall of Asia Arena. Siyempre, hindi naman araw-araw laging work, siyempre, para hindi ma-boring, nanonood ng mga sports. Okay? Sa mga taong mahilig sa sports, ha. Ako, personally, I'm watch wrestling talaga. Kasi yung entertainment ng wrestling maganda, doon ako nag-e-enjoy. Doon natatanggal yung boring ko, lalo na kung may mga storyline. Okay? Boxing, syempre, one of that. Another one. Social contact. Much travel grows out the social nature of people. Human beings are social animals. They need contact communication with others. They feel comfortable in a tour group. Syempre, social contact. That's also important in travel. That's why, mas magiging komportable ka mag-travel kung ikaw po ay belong sa isang organized group. Okay, lalo na kung mga group tour yun or ano. Syempre, pag the more, the merrier. Diba? Mas komportable po kung grupo kayo at syempre, meron kasing tour guide yan. Okay? Because human beings are social animals. They need contact and communication with others. Syempre, kaysa kung ilan lang mag-travel, kayo kailan nag-uusap, nakaka-boring yun. Di ba? Next, status and prestige. Travel provides with the means for ego or self-enhancement. Travel to a poor country can provide the traveler with a feeling of superiority. Travel can also provide a means of mingling with the wealthy and social elite. Alam nyo, minsan may mga travelers po na talagang sila lang yung nakakapag-travel doon sa destination dahil may mga destination talaga na mahal ang pamasahe, mahal ang accommodation, lalo na sa mga European countries, no? Kumbaga, pag ikaw nag-travel ka doon, elite ka, big time ka, wealthy ka. Kaya mo, may capable ka to travel. You are capable to travel in that famous destination such as in European countries. Or base na rin sa status mo or prestige as a person, kaya mo makasakay sa isang cruise ship. No, imagine that kung magkano pong nagagastos sa isang cruise ship. So, ibig sabihin, it provides means for ego or self-enhancement. Or, di ba, iba rin yung dating kapag ikaw ay nagta-travel for business purposes. Umaattend ka ng conventions, umaattend ka ng conference. Umupunta ka lang doon para lang umattend ng conference, di ba? Kakaiba ka, talagang sabihin, mataas ang iyong ego, mataas, maganda ang iyong status sa society, no? Alright, so next one, travel for education. Siyempre, education travel, the search for knowledge and truth is inherent in every individual. Travel offers an opportunity to satisfy the urge to learn. So, may mga nagta-travel po para po matuto, to learn, to take, mga pumupunta sa ibang bansa para mag-take ng master's degree. Siyempre, iba rin yung nakagraduate sa ibang bansa. Kunyari, nakagraduate sa Cambridge or nakagraduate sa Oxford o Harvard. Ay, grabe po, pag ganun po ang diploma mo, mabigat ka. Okay, or to have, to learn about the culture of this particular destination. That is travel for education. Marami kasi ibig sabihin ng travel for education to immerse. No, to immerse doon sa lugar na yon regarding sa culture or syempre, para mas magkaroon ka na tinatawag na status and prestige. Or kumbaga, tumaas ang yung status as a person. Kaya ka nagta-travel for education. Personal values, the notion of personal values is an important travel motivator. Many people are urged to travel to satisfy personal values such as search for spiritual experience, patriotism, and wholesomeness. Syempre tayo, kaya tayo nagta-travel because we want to learn, we want to have, yung tinatawag na spiritual experience. Nagta-travel ka doon for religious purposes. That is part of spiritual experience. Nagta-travel ka doon para nagta-travel ka doon dahil mayroon kang hangarin, mayroon kang magandang hangarin, makatulong. Okay? or may patriotism na tinatawag po, that is personal value. So, kumbaga, mayroon kang pagpapahalaga. Kaya ako matindon, gusto mong ma-meet yung mga community, matulungan sila. That is part of personal values. Cultural experience, syempre, cross-cultural exchange, experiencing how other people live and fostering international understanding are some of the reasons to satisfy curiosity about other cultures, lifestyle, and places. So, cross-cultural exchange. So, maganda po ito. Ito yung ino-offer po sa mga schools po, normally. Yung mga ibang bansa po, pumupunta dito para mag-aral po at yung itong bansa naman ito, nagpupunta doon at para mag-aral din. So, that is, nagkakaroon ng immersing doon sa culture. That is called cross-cultural exchange. To learn the new lifestyle of this particular place, that is cultural experience. Okay? Or for to become more creative as a person. Okay? Sharpens and bargain hunting, syempre, may mga tao po nagta-travel para po makapag-shopping dahil mahilig po mag-shopping or pumunta sa isang pumunta po sa Divisoria para po magkaroon ng bargain hunting or bargain shopping po. Okay, so may mga ganyan po tao na mahilig pong mamili, no, mahilig pong mamili, mahilig pong mag-shopping, no. Kaya pumupunta sila doon sa isang destination. Kung hindi man shopping, bargain hunting po like Divisoria. One of the best example. Professional business motive, syempre, nagta-travel for professional or business motives po, like conference and conventions, commerce. So, ang purpose ng travel po, to attend professional meetings, professional conference, okay, or to have a business meeting with their business partners. So, that is professional and business motives. Search for natural beauty, syempre, search for natural beauty para magkaroon ng magandang scenery po or kumbaga, ma-experience yung mga magagandang scenery such as yung mga magandang sunset view like in Manila Bay or in Lapog Bay in dyan sa may Lapog Bay dyan sa may Ilocos Sur, and then mga makakita syempre makakita po ng mga magagandang tanawin po para syempre pag maganda tanawin nakakatanggal po ng stress yun, nakaka-relax, makaakyat ng bundok, makapag-swimming sa waterfalls, ma-enjoy yung mga gardens, beaches, valleys. So, it's all about search for natural beauty. Travel constraint, bakit po ang tao ay travel constraint po kung bakit ang tao ay ayaw mag-travel. Siyempre, lack of money, walang pera eh. Sino ba naman nakakapag-travel kapag wala pong pera? Natural, pag walang pera, hindi makapagbiyahe. Kahit gusto mong magbiyahe, wala kang pera, wala. So, lack of money. Lack of time, busy ka sa work, busy ka sa pamilya. So, lack of time ka. Hindi makapag-travel. And of course, lack of safety and security, kumbaga, kaya hindi nagta-travel doon sa lugar na yun, sa destination na yun, dahil meron pong problema regarding sa safety security, baka may terorista, or may mga tao kasing takot magbiyahe. Ganyan yun. Okay, alam nilang hindi safe mag-travel, lalo na may mga taong takot po sa eroplano. May mga ganun po talagang takot sa eroplano. Ibig sabihin, mga hindi pa nakaka-experience ng eroplano. Okay? Physical disabled or disability, may mga tao po, syempre hindi nakakapag-travel dahil disabled po. PWD, makalakad, hindi makakita. Kaya nga po ang travel po, para na po sa lahat. Kahit po disabled person po or PWD, pwede na po nila ma-enjoy ang destination. Syempre, family commitment, pag may pamilya na, may anak na po, hindi ka na makapag-travel. Ang gastos mo para sa pamilya na. Lack of interest in travel, walang interest, gusto sa bahay lang, yung tinatawag na mga introvert person. Yung mga introvert, wala silang interest magbiyahe. Sa bahay lang sila. Siguro yung mga mahihilig sa games, yung mga Mobile Legends, mga addict sa pagko-computer, yan. Wala silang interest mag-travel. Okay? And then, fear of travel, yun nga, sabi ko nga, yung mga takot sumakay ng aeroplano, may takot magbiyahe, baka feeling nila may mangyayari sila pag pumunta sila sa lugar na yun. Okay? Fears of travel. So, yun yung reason bakit ang mga tao ayaw magbiyahe po. Okay? Travel constraints. Alright, so, okay, so if you have some question, don't hesitate to ask me by writing a comment or questions in the YouTube comment section po. May mga tanong po kayo, wag po kayo mayang magtanong, sasagutin ko po yan. Okay, so yun lang. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig po. At tayo po may natutunan po kayo. Maraming salamat po. Ingat kayo at God bless.